It was a very sad day for me yesterday when my phone rang at about 10 o'clock and I was just pulling into Brighton to start my day editing, and up on my phone comes Beck Morse. So I answered the phone, I go, "G'day, nutbag, what's going on?" And you were crying.
Yeah. I couldn't, James wasn't answering his phone. You were my next call, Cos, because I had just got the phone call that you really know in the media industry that one day you will get.
Yeah.
I'm not naive. I know that our industry is slowly dying, to be honest, and I have watched so many quality people with much more talent than myself lose their jobs over the years, and every time I thought I've dodged another bullet, I've dodged another round of redundancies. Yesterday, there was a bullet with my name on it. So I got a phone call from my boss in Sydney. I was in a cafe. He never calls me. I'm a fair way down the food chain nationally, so I went, "This is not good." He said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm in a cafe." He said, "You should leave." So I knew straight away. So I just walked out into the street and he said there's a restructure that will be announced at midday, but I wanted to give you the courtesy of a phone call, which I did appreciate. If I had been told via a Zoom call in front of my newsroom, I would have been more devastated. And he said the restructure does not have a role for you in it.
You've been there for 14 years at that news desk,
14.
reading news for South Australia. When you hear that sentence, what did you say? What goes through your head?
I just felt really numb. Like I felt numb, but I didn't. I actually in my head I went, this is it. Like I knew it wasn't. I knew that this time would come, and I just said, "What's happening with our news?" And he said that would be announced later in the day, and it was, and that is that from the 14th of September, Adelaide's 10 News will be broadcast from Melbourne with Melbourne newsreaders. We will have a team here, but we don't know what that team looks like yet.
It's very sad.
It's never easy, Beck. It's never easy to lose your job regardless of the circumstances. But when it's your life's passion, like this is for you, I mean, I know how much you love news reading. I know how much news means to you, and I get that it must be absolutely heartbreaking to see a company you've worked for 14 years restructure in a way where they don't make news the priority.
And my sadness is not tied up in selfishness. I am so grateful and so lucky to have this job here. Many of my colleagues don't have that luxury. I feel very privileged to be in that position. So my sadness is for a team of some of them very young, very talented journalists who don't yet know whether they have a job. And if they do lose their job, there's nowhere to go. There are no jobs in this industry, and they are good people with mortgages and young families.
Yeah.
And I'm so sad for them and for our industry.
Do you know what makes this so sad for me? And yesterday it was like I was hit by a truck, and my wife was the same. But we just adore you, and to see you sad was horrific. But it's just you're so good at reading the news. Like, and I know how much you love it.
I really love doing it.
And it is, you're flawless. Like I was only saying to my wife about a week ago, I said, you know what? She never makes a mistake.
I do sometimes.
She never trips up. Like, it's unbelievable. And then I thought of you all day. And as I was editing and the time was getting closer to when you would start to read the news, I was thinking about what you're doing and how hard it must be. I was flicking in the odd text and stuff like that. And then it got to the time when you had to be on Channel 10 News. And it was something we spoke about on the phone. Like, you get delivered the news that you're going to be let go, yet hours later you have to read the news in front of South Australia.
Yeah,
and
I really wanted to do that, and our whole team really banded together to do that, and I was so proud of all of them.
I just want to tip my hat to you here, because that is a level of professionalism that you don't see in many people, and I want South Australia to just listen to this. So bear in mind, Beck's just got the phone call at 10 o'clock. She's just been fired, but she has the skills and the ability to get on TV, on live TV, and still deliver this sort of stuff.
Victoria's botched hotel quarantine program is back under the microscope after the leaking of a bizarre video created by some of the bureaucrats charged for setting it up.
So how do you remain so professional when you must be emotionally destroyed?
I just went into autopilot. Like I couldn't tell you one word I read last night. I couldn't tell you. Apart from I did read a story about McDonald's giving someone a golden handshake, and I said, that'd be nice. Like, I got one little tick in, but I just went into autopilot, and it was important for us to do that. And it's so important. We've got a month left to showcase what we can do for this state. And I don't want to miss one day of that.
And that's the right attitude, Beck. You want to do the best job you've ever done over the next month and make people really angry at the fact that you're not a news option anymore.
And we
in
have
this
the
state.
hardest working team. Like we're on a shoestring. We've lost job after job. We've got reporters doing 2 stories a day. Our bulletin's now 90 minutes. We have worked so hard. We couldn't have worked harder. And my heart just breaks for our team. And as I said, we haven't been told yet what our team will look like going forward.
I'll say this though, mate. I reckon in the months to come that this you'll look back at this and this could very well be an opportunity. Someone as talented as you just goes from one thing to the next, and there will always be a place for you in the media here in South Australia.
Yeah, and
for
can
sure.
I also, if this sounds self-indulgent, I know that thousands of people during COVID have lost their jobs and feel just like this. Yet they don't have the public rallying around them. I've received hundreds of messages and I haven't even got to them all yet. And I feel so supported and so comforted and wrapped in a big warm hug. Yet people who lose their jobs, just have their family and friends around them. So I know I'm so lucky, and I have a glimpse into what many of you out there have been through in the last couple of months during COVID, and I was about to swear. It's horrible.
And you know what? You and I, have been working together for 18 months. We have spent a lot of that time especially through coronavirus, helping people get their businesses going and promoting South Australian businesses and products. Now South Australia has an option when they choose to consume news. Melbourne is going to be presenting the Adelaide news. So as far as Channel 10's decision, we now have a choice like we do when we pick up any product to eat. Do you want something that's made in South Australia, or do you want something where the jobs are sent over to Victoria? So I encourage everybody to choose very carefully.
And the decision is even more stark than that, Cosi. Channel 7 and Channel 9 will be reporting local news.
Yeah.
Whereas it'll be a shared broadcast with Melbourne. So if you want local news, it's going to be Channel 7 and Channel 9 is where you're going to find it moving
And ABC.
forward. Yep. And the ABC after September 14, and sadly not on Channel 10 anymore after that date. But Beck, you did, as you say, there was a lot of love on social media for yesterday. And let's keep the love going now on 131060.
Well done, Beck. As if I thought I was not going to cry.